In our first report, the transition team started its briefing and handing over to the incoming administration. At their second meeting in Accra, a representative of the incoming team, Mr Yaw Osafo Maafo, expressed concern over rumors of recent recruitment into the security services, awarding of new contracts, and regularizing the appointment of temporary staff, among others. Mr Osafo Maafo says both teams must consult properly for a smooth and transparent process.
The provisions of the Presidential Transition Act 2012, Act 845, the transition team is to make comprehensive practical arrangements to regulate the transfer of political power following a presidential election, and to do this by forming various subcommittees to handle different aspects of the process of the transfer of power. The second meeting of the transition team that was formed after the 7th December polls was to hand over its notes and establish specific committees for smooth transition. Representative of President John Mahama, Mr. Julius Debra, said almost all handing over notes are ready.
From the both sides of the divide have agreed in principle that we have to try as much as possible for this to be one of the smoothest transitions that we've ever experienced. Doing that with as much transparency as possible and as much openness to each other. Now, one of the main reasons why we are here today is to establish the various committees as required by the law, and then to also agree amongst ourselves other subcommittees that we think will be very relevant as far as the transition is concerned. As we speak now, we have almost all the handing over notes ready.
Mr. Yaw Osafo Maafo from the incoming team said work begins when all the necessary documents are ready.
We have heard from the grapevine a few things which have become our concern, talking about the incoming government team, the transition team. For instance, we have heard about ongoing recruitment into the security services now, which we hope is not true. We've heard of conversion of temporary staff, of political assistants, and some of the staff we took on into permanent public servants. We've heard of award of new contracts after the election results are announced on the 9th of December. We've heard of procurement of sales and national access also after the results. We do not want to believe that these allegations are true. We need to be cautious, we need to be transparent, we need to be candid, and we need to be factual. We are therefore appealing to our colleagues that within this period, if there's anything that needs to be done, consultation has to be brought on board.
Both teams were positive of a healthy cooperation to ensure smooth transition of power.